Welcome to Slow Shutter, the podcast for photographers and wedding professionals looking to escape the pressures of the creative industry. So put your pen and notebook away and come hang out with your two besties, Cami Empey and Jayde Jenkins. This is Slow Shutter.
Okay, Jayde, I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
Will you marry me?
No. I'm already engaged.
Oh my gosh. So you've already been asked that question within the last
couple
few
weeks. Yeah, last episode I was a girlfriend. This episode I'm a fiance.
Yay!
Fiance.
Isn't it such a fun word to say?
It is. Jacob and I both, like before we got engaged, we were saying how girlfriend and boyfriend doesn't really fit the vibes anymore. Like when we're telling people my boyfriend said XYZ or my girlfriend's at home.
Yeah.
Especially when talking to clients in a professional situation, I'm always like, my boyfriend, and then I feel silly. I feel like 16.
Yeah. You're like, my boyfriend? No. Fiance.
I'm a grandmother. Anyway, so yes, I am finally freaking engaged after many a month of questioning all my life decisions.
Yes, it was so fun. So we actually have like a really fun story for you about her engagement. And just feel free to chime in what you were thinking and feeling as these phases as I tell it. Back in March or April, that's when Jacob was like, hey, we got to start planning this proposal. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard to keep a secret.
Well, and we had planned on, me and Jacob have the same birthday, so we always do a birthday trip. So we were like, okay, let's go on a birthday trip this year. And we decided on Hawaii finally, but he was making it this really big deal that his uncle was going to be there, who is like one of his favorite people. And so I was like, oh, he's going to propose. That's why he cares so much. And so we ended up moving the trip to July.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucked because then my friends couldn't come, but then it worked out because I was so surprised.
Yeah.
But anyways, my friends couldn't come because we waited so long for Stuart and whatever. So I was like all bothered about this trip just to begin with. So I was like,
and when we were trying to plan it, again, he was trying to accommodate to a lot of people being there because there's a lot of people in their lives that like
and Jacob's
want to be a part of it.
He's a people pleaser.
Well, and there are a lot of people that wanted to be a part of the moment and that he wanted there and that he knew that Jayde would want there. And so we were like trying to figure out how to do this in a way that I was like, it's not blatantly obvious. He kind of wanted to surprise her. And so it did work out having to push it out. And then I was like, this actually is legit. We probably it would have been more obvious if we had done it in May because I could have actually gone for the whole trip. But when he pushed out to July, I couldn't go for the whole trip.
Well, and before that happened, I had my suspicions. So I had expressed to my mom how I was suspicious, and that's why we were pushing it out to July, is because he cared enough that Stuart was there because he was going to propose. So then my mom really stressed me out, and I really stressed myself out, and I came home freaking out and was like, are you proposing during this trip? Because my mom wanted my sisters there, and she was like, well, you're going to want your sisters there because you're going to get engaged. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm getting engaged during this trip. And she was like, you're getting engaged. Your sister should probably be there. But, you know, one of my sisters is in college. The other one's 20. So like, it's not like they can just fork out $5,000 to go on a trip. So anyways, I come home and Jacob's like, we're not getting engaged, Jayde. Like, why would I propose to you in Hawaii? Like going all this. And I was like, okay, so I uninvite my sisters. And so that was another thing. I was like, I uninvited my sisters and was like, you guys aren't coming. Well, then Jacob's mom invited his sister. So then I was like, it's fine. Like, obviously, I love Allie. And so I want Allie on vacation with me. But again, I was like, well, my sisters aren't coming. So he proposed.
I think he did a really good job of like being like, no, you're not getting proposed to on this trip. Like,
well, and he told me later it mattered more to him that I was surprised than anything. He didn't care if I was around. He was like, I will sacrifice everyone to make sure that you were surprised.
Right.
Like, that's all he cared about.
Right. And then Jayde had already expressed like months before this was like, one of my non-negotiables is I want Cami there to take pictures, whatever you do. And so when he gave me the dates, I was like, well, frick, I had my sister coming in from Texas that week.
For the 4th of July.
For the 4th of July. And
also
then
Cami's birthday.
My birthday. And my it's not like birthdays are like the biggest deal. It's just that my whole family was going to be there and we were going to do family pictures and it was like this whole thing. And then I had another wedding booked for July 12th. And so I was like, I gotta be back. And anyway, so I was like, okay, let's try to find another photographer there. And anyway, it was just like a whole thing. And then it just, when it came down to it, I was like, I can come for like the 3 days, the last 3 days of your trip. And Jacob was like, actually, that's like really perfect, because by that point, Jayde will be like, I'm not getting proposed to, because we only have like 2 days left on this trip.
Well, and I was genuinely surprised. So he bought us first class tickets, but Jacob had just gotten back surgery. So, and also he's bougie. So it wasn't like, oh, he's flying us first class because I'm getting engaged. I was like, we're flying first class because I have a bougie fiance.
Yeah.
Boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
But so there was no question in my mind of why we were flying first class. So we get to Hawaii, and, you know, my parents flew in like the next day. We saw one of my college friends. We met up with her. She was already in Hawaii. It was actually really sweet. Love her so much. And then Jacob started acting weird. But again, knowing who Jacob is, when we're on vacations, he is always weird. Like he loves being on vacation. It's his favorite. And he loves planning trips. He loves being like host of parties and everything. So he's always very excited when he plans something and everything like comes together. So in my head, I was like, okay, he's just being weird because he loves that everybody's here and everybody's like together. And so he kept being like, we should go shopping and we should get matching outfits. Yeah. Which I love matching with Jacob. He always asks me what he should wear anytime we go on trips so that we can match. And so again, it's not out of the ordinary. So we go shopping and we find a couple matching outfits. We went shopping twice. The first time I found us like some Hawaii looking matching outfits. They were like matching pattern. So we wore those to dinner that night. And then the next day he was like, well, Jayde, on Monday, we're going to be taking pictures at this botanical garden. Like my sister's just going to take them with her phone. So we should match. We should like coordinate. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I had planned on taking pictures of my parents on like my film camera. I brought my film camera to do like 3 rolls of just my parents and do like a photo shoot with them. So I was like, that's great. We'll just do a few on the film camera too. So leading up to that, and like I was checking. So I in my head said to myself, if I'm Jacob, I'm flying Cami out here secretly and surprising me on Monday is what I said to myself on Saturday. I should have like put it in my notes so I had proof of me like basically guessing what they did. Yeah. But then on Sunday night, our softball league, which more importantly than the engagement, we're C-League champs.
C-League champs here.
Our softball team won the whole C-League.
Yep, we did.
Anyway, so we take our softball very seriously. And our softball team on Sunday was like, who's going to be here Tuesday? I know that Jayde's gone. Well, Cami's like, me and Porter will be there Tuesday. So in my head, I'm like, well, there's no way she's getting here tomorrow and going to be back for the softball game Tuesday. So she's not coming. So I like break my own little heart. Yeah. So then you can go on to your travel day.
We knew Jayde checks my location like every day.
Religiously. She's my Pokemon.
Well, also, if I do the same thing to her, if she doesn't answer my phone call or my text, immediately on Find My Friends looking where she is. And so I knew there was a high chance. Also, we text throughout the day. So it says like, I don't know if your phone does this. Mine says Jayde and then it says Idaho Falls, Idaho, like underneath.
No, I like that though.
It says the location. So I know
where I'm texting you from?
Yeah, where you're at all times. It says am in Idaho right underneath your contact.
Oh yeah, mine says that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm like, even if she doesn't check Find My Friends, she's going to see Honolulu, Hawaii if she goes to text me. Yeah. And anyway, so I was like, oh crap, we got to figure this out. And Jacob was like Googling it and he asked ChatGPT what to do. And it said that I could change my location to my iPad and leave my iPad at home. And I was like, oh, that's genius. And so we did everything. So that night I made sure I was like moving around all night, like, or I was like leaving my house, you know, so it was like, she's in Idaho still. And then that morning is when I changed it to back to my iPad. So that would just be at my house because my flight it left Idaho Falls at 6 a.m. And then with the time difference and everything, I landed in Hawaii at 11 a.m. And the travel day was okay. Like there wasn't anything crazy happening, but we had already picked the location. We just had it. Jacob obviously couldn't leave Jay to go like look at the location. Right. And so I got there early so that I could like scope it out. So they were planning on being there around 4 o'clock. So I got there at 11. I really got to the location at like 12:30. and was just location hunting until I could like find the perfect spot. And then the spot that I ended up finding, nobody was like, I was really surprised. There was like another open field like towards the entrance, but like everybody was going to that one, not the one we were in. And I was like really confused. So I was like, okay, hopefully this stays this way. So anyway, I set up all my stuff. I set up my little camp and I was ready to go. And Jacob was like texting me the whole time. Like, we're on our way. We're 10 minutes away, 8 minutes away.
And day of, we went to this Japanese garden thing.
Oh, yeah. And not that far away. You were like 30 minutes.
No. And it was the cutest little place. And I fed the birds and the birds got on my arms.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I posted a story of me and said, best day of my life, which is hilarious. because later, not only like literally an hour later, I get proposed to, but I was like, best day of my life because these birds were like landing on my arm. And I loved it. They were so cute. They had cute little feet.
I saw it while I was sitting in the bush.
It's literally so funny. And then we get into the cars and we start driving. And Jacob was, I think, obviously he was nervous, but he made Michael miss our turn. But my parents missed the turn too.
Yeah.
Which, keep in mind, my parents did not know that I was getting proposed to because my sweet, sweet mom is the worst at keeping secrets. And so they didn't want to tell my dad because they were afraid my dad would tell my mom. So again, Jacob made the decision to sacrifice everyone in order to keep this a surprise for me. So my parents had no idea. They just missed the turn too, which made us late by like 15 extra minutes, 20 extra minutes to the botanical garden. And we got there 30 minutes before it closed. So we get out of the car and Jacob asked my dad while I was getting out of the car, he like ran over to my dad. Jacob told me this. He ran over to my dad and he like gave my dad a hug and he was like, there's a ring in my pocket. Cami's in the bushes. Do I have your blessing to marry your daughter? And my dad was like, let's do this thing. Well, then my dad pulls out his phone and my dad kind of gave it away for this because I was like, why the hell is my dad filming us right now? So we're walking up to this field and everybody starts pulling out their phones. So it's Jacob's uncle and aunt. I handed my mom, again, my mom doesn't know still at this point. I hand my mom my film camera. And I was like, Mom, take a couple of pictures of us. But like first I take a picture of Jacob because I'm like oblivious, but still kind of like everybody has their phones out.
Yeah, like what's going on?
But maybe, I don't know, like I wanted to have my phone out too. So I hand my phone to Nikki, which is Jacob's mom.
To take a picture.
Take pictures of me and Jacob.
On your phone.
On my phone. So anyways, I turn to Jacob and I'm just like noticing everybody with their phones out. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to propose right now. And so he says the things. I was obviously very surprised, super excited. There's something in the back of my head, though, that was like, I swear to fucking God, if he did not hire a photographer and all these people are just doing this on their phones.
Yeah.
Well, and meanwhile, my mom's like trying to figure out the film camera, poor thing. She had no idea what was going on. Yeah. So she's like freaking out. Anyways, he whispers in my ear, he's like, Cami's behind you. And I turned around and Cami's like running through the bush.
Yeah, well, okay. So I forgot to tell Jacob which direction to like kneel. And so I wish I had told him to do it the other way. So I had his back.
It was totally fine, though.
In your front, but instead I had it the other way around. So like we got really cute pictures of Jacob.
Yeah,
like smiling. Cute. And then once I got to, but I was like, oh shoot, I gotta like run.
In a way, I'm actually really grateful you didn't get my face because I was so genuinely shocked that I was not very photogenic at that moment. Like my whole face was like,
you're like, what's happening?
It's just like completely surprised.
I did. When I was like, oh crap, I gotta get out of here. I did fall. And so everybody was like so in love with the moment though that nobody noticed. And I was like, I got back up and started running again.
You're like bleeding?
Yeah. And I'm like, ah. So I finally got over there and
Cami looked haggard.
I had been up and traveling since like 7 a.m. that morning or 6 a.m. that morning. So it had been like 8 hours at this point. And at the point I was like, oh my gosh, this has been a long day. But it was so fun and it went off like pretty well. Like I feel like we did a pretty decent job.
I looked at Jacob and I was like, why didn't you do this earlier so I could have spent the rest of the day with Cami?
And I'm like, I just got in today. like hours ago.
Like you could have done this at 11 a.m. when she got here.
Well, it actually worked out nicely because my Airbnb host canceled my Airbnb because he was having like maintenance problems. So I was like, Jacob, I don't have anywhere to stay. And
so
he was like,
stay with us.
And I was like, okay. And it was actually really fun.
It was really cool.
But yeah, and then the rest of the day we just spent hanging out.
Should we tell the suitcase story?
Sure. You know what? It's fine because it is funny.
It's too late.
So,
okay.
Well, there's a prior story. I'm gonna let Jade tell this. You go.
About the suitcase?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so okay.
Well, about your dad, and then we'll get into the suitcase.
Okay. Well, very next day, 2 a.m., my dad has a heart attack. So we get engaged. My dad has a heart attack, and he goes
Put
to the
him in
hospital.
cardiac arrest.
Well, and my sweet, sweet mom, my dad didn't want to make it about him. So he had like told my mom, we're not telling if this is gas, we're not telling anybody about it. So they like got to the hospital, didn't tell any of us that they were going to the hospital. At 8 a.m., I text my mom and I'm like, me and Cami are going to the beach. You want to come? And she's like, well, we're actually at the hospital. And I was like, what the freak? Why didn't you say anything? So my dad was having a heart attack. They took him in immediately. And they were able to, he had like four blockages, one in a very important artery in his heart. And they were able to stint that one. They pushed one out of one of the little, or he had three. Yeah. They pushed one out of one of his little arteries, and then one artery was too small for them to get into, so they left that one. But they were hoping that by his heart actually having blood flow, that it will push it out eventually. Anyways, my dad, like, he had not been feeling good for a really long time, and it was like the aggravation of like going on the flight, and then we keep making the joke that it took Jacob 5 years to propose.
Put him in a heart attack.
Surprised my dad and gave him a heart attack. Fortunately, everything was fine. So my dad was immediately making jokes. Like, we got to the hospital and he immediately was like, cool. This is your fault. And said it to Jacob. And Jacob was like, I didn't do anything. Also my dad drugged up, only cared that we all tried the juice at the hospital.
Yeah. He was like totally
totally chill.
Guys, like, what's the big deal?
The doctors literally said that he was safer leaving Hawaii than he was coming to Hawaii because they fixed his heart so good. He's been great ever since. It was definitely scary.
He was at church the next Sunday. Can confirm.
He's a tough guy. Yeah. And he poor guy felt like it was like he ruined everything. And I was like, you didn't ruin anything. This is the best story ever. As long as you survive it. Yeah. I would like you, as long as you survive, this is the best story ever. And he's been good. So yeah. Anyways, so the suitcase adds to this story in a way that I hope my mom's not upset that we tell this story.
Whatever. Sorry, Jenny.
We have to tell it because it is so ridiculous. So my parents have these people in their neighborhood who asked them to take a suitcase to their daughter who lives in Oahu, and her daughter is moving to Samoa. So my parents packed the suitcase
so kindly, and they're some of the kindest people ever. So it's like, okay, whatever. We're
gonna do it.
We're just gonna keep it short. The suitcase became a problem.
It was a nuisance from the beginning, before the engagement and before the before the engagement and before the heart attack.
But especially after the heart attack, okay, crap. Now we got to figure out what to do with the suitcase, because keep in mind, we only have like 2 days left on this trip too. And they were trying to get Steve to a point where he could fly home.
Right. And so they had already pushed their flight back a day. Yeah. Well, and also they had asked that my parents bring a suitcase full of stuff back. So my mom asked us to take the suitcase to North Shore on the last day of our trip. So our flights didn't leave till like 9 p.m. And Cami's left at 5 p.m.
Yeah, left at 5. Everybody else is left at 10. But we were like, we have so much time. We can figure this out.
Go to North Shore.
So we went to the mall. And the plan was, let's go take more engagement photos on Hawaii, because when are we going to be here next?
We didn't have time because the botanical garden closed.
Exactly. Like, we only got the proposal photos. So we didn't get like engagement photos. So we went to the mall, got new fits. Then we went to, then we were like, let's go to the North Shore. Oh, then
we had to go to the hospital to grab the suitcase.
And then we had to go to the North Shore.
Suitcase was empty.
Yeah. Sorry. The
suitcase was empty.
The suitcase was empty. I cannot explain to you the disappointment I felt.
We were already high strung anyways, because my dad's in the hospital.
It was all very tense. And so I'm like, if you think it's dramatic, it was dramatic.
It was dramatic 10. Because
well, and then to make it worse, we had gotten up really early. We didn't get breakfast. We didn't do anything.
No,
and
we
so
were starving.
Progressively, Cami's getting a little hangry.
Well,
just saying.
Jacob's, we drove with Jacob's uncle and aunt, and they decided to take a different way to North Shore that took like an extra hour.
They went off-roading.
They went off-roading. It took us like an extra hour to get up there. I start like freaking out because at this point it's 2:00. We have to get back to
it's another hour
Waikiki by 3. It's already 2:00. Mm-hmm. Get back there by 3 to get Cami. So Cami changes her flights, which helped me feel a lot better. Yeah. But I'm also just so mad about the suitcase. So we get to this restaurant and it's like a food truck. Cami grabs the suitcase.
Wait, no. Jade did have a moment where she was like, I just feel really overwhelmed. And I was like
crying in the back seat. I was super overwhelmed.
And Jacob was like being really comforting and was like, I get it. Like, I get why you're feeling overwhelmed.
Jacob thought I was mad at him.
No, yeah, but
Not
we
mad
were
at you.
both like, no, we get why. Because also, like, the whole thing with your dad, like, you hadn't really had time to process that whole, like,
and I just got engaged.
ordeal. Yeah.
And I felt really guilty for going and wanting to get engagement pictures. That's why I had the like mental breakdown I had.
But then we had to still deal with this stupid suitcase.
The suitcase was the cherry on
And
top.
so she starts having this little bit of a moment. And so then I was like,
It was a full-on panic.
Nobody makes my best friend cry. And so then I'm hangry and just pissed off. So I was like, that's it. And I grabbed the suitcase because I was like, Jay doesn't need to deal with the suitcase anymore. I've got it. Okay. So I grabbed the suitcase, and then Jade and Jacob both said, like, the second we saw you marching away with the suitcase, we knew
thought she was going to throw it through the window.
Because I was like dragging it across this gravel. Like, I am so done with this suitcase. And so I go up to this little place and I'm like, hey,
pizza place.
We're supposed to drop this suitcase off here. The girl that we were supposed to give it to wasn't even on the island.
No.
So
it was just the employees.
We were dropping it. We were dropping it to her coworkers, and her coworkers. I did preface with like, I know this isn't your fault. Okay, I do. However, this suitcase has been the bane of our existence for the last 2 days. And this was very inconvenient. And you made my best friend cry.
She was a lot more mean than this. In the moment.
I was very upset. And I was like, I know this isn't your fault.
There may have been some cuss words said.
Yeah, I was like, the message needs to be passed along that this was a trip. Okay.
This was insane.
You sent us through hell to give you this suitcase. Okay. So, and I was like, however, like, whatever. I started walking away from it, and then I turned around and I was like, just so you know, I'm probably gonna be back to order some pizza because I was so
don't hate
angry. And I was like, so don't hate me.
Also, pizza was really good.
Yeah,
we did go back.
Jade's like still wiping away tears as we're like ordering, and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Well, Jacob walks up to the window and they're like, "Are you with her?" And they point at Cami, and Jacob's like, "Should I tell you yes?"
Yeah, and Jacob was like, "Please don't spit on my food." And I was like, I wasn't being mean to them. I was just like, I just need this message to get along.
The frustration was there.
Yeah, that it was frustrating, and that maybe an apology is owed.
Yes,
somewhere.
Yes,
but they did give Jade a free pineapple
and a drink.
Yeah,
for
really
me
nice.
crying. It was very nice. I gave my parents the pineapple, and I drank the drink.
Yes,
and the food was good, and we went.
Delicious.
We took engagement pictures.
And I'll tell you, once I ate the pizza,
I felt much better.
I felt so much lighter. I was like, oh,
we also had
the sun is out again.
Even though it was out the whole time. Yeah. We ate the pizza, and we had like traditional Hawaiian food. And we shared it. It was so good. And then we took engagement photos at a couple different spots that were really cute.
It was beautiful.
At one point I was like, Cami, I don't want to take pictures again. And Cami's like, I want to take pictures at sunset back at the hotel on the beach.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to take any more pictures. My face is puffy. I've had a day. I'm over it.
Yeah.
And she was like, please. And I'm really grateful we did.
Yeah.
Because it also was really nice. We met my parents back up. They released my father from jail. And so he was able to be at the beach. So we kind of like got to walk with my parents, walk with my dad.
Yeah.
And like, so that made my heart feel better.
Yeah.
And then we got to see sea turtles like on the side. And it was really pretty.
A really nice evening. Like,
yeah. And we had dinner with everyone. So it was like a good little end to our vacay.
It felt more normal.
The craziness that happened the last couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents stayed the night in the hotel that we had gotten. Jacob's mom is also bougie, so she got us a hotel for the day that we could put all of our stuff in.
Because the flight wasn't until
10 p.m.
Yeah.
So it worked out good. My parents had to move their flight the next day because of the hospital. So they stayed in the room that Nikki had booked, so that didn't get wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And then they flew out the next day and they got home just fine. They had a really nice last day of vacation too, where they like went to the beach and went and saw, I think they went to the pizza place. Didn't they? I think they drove up to North Shore and ended up getting pizza from the pizza place that we were supposed to bring the suitcase from. I'm sure they were like, sorry about our friend. Sorry about my daughter's friend.
I don't even care. I mean, if they had been in my mind for the past 4 hours, they would understand.
They would 100% understand. Well, and then we got home and it's been really fun being engaged.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of weird being on the other side of it as a wedding photographer, I have to like kind of decide what I would want as a bride and not as a wedding photographer, because for me, I've done and seen hundreds and hundreds of weddings.
Yeah.
I know what not to do, but I don't know what I prefer for myself. Like as far as I was looking at inspo for colors yesterday.
Yeah.
And
really hard.
We've kind of decided on like location and date. And so we're going to do kind of fall vibes. But I was like, I don't love for myself dark fall colors. So I'm trying to find like pretty springy fall colors. I don't know, bright fall colors.
Yeah.
Well, also, I don't know.
Speaking of which, we just did a wedding in Texas and they had their bridesmaids all wore like a bright orange.
Oh, so beautiful.
That was so cute.
So beautiful.
Because I've never seen an orange be a primary color in a wedding.
Well, and her bouquet had little blues and stuff in it too. Blues and oranges. It was like gorgeous.
We're talking like neon orange. Like,
yeah, it was beautiful.
But it looked so good.
Yes. And it fit the vibes. Her venue was very Italian villa vibe in Texas. And I felt like it fit the vibes of the venue.
It really did. Like it looked, in the contrast looked so amazing.
Yes.
So you could do something like that. Like
I could.
I don't look good in orange. Please don't do that.
Well, the other thing that Jacob and I have been talking about, we're going to do like super intimate micro wedding destination. And then we'll do kind of an open house here in town so that everybody can come and say hi. Because as much as I love everyone, I don't want 300 people at my wedding.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have less than 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then do like a big thing. And so we're not even doing wedding parties because that would be our whole wedding.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have all the guests wear the colors of our wedding day so that everything's like super pretty. So I'm just going to pick like 4 colors that everybody can pick from. So everybody can pick what their favorite color.
Yeah.
And they can all wear whatever. My sister's hand drawing our invitations and she's going to draw the little like pets. It's gonna be so cute.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so fun. It has been really fun to get planning. We have a call with our photographer and our videographer this week, who we're hoping to hire. I'm sure we will hire them. I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
So, and they're gonna be amazing. The photographer, she's done Italian weddings multiple times.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have a lot of insight for us and be able to like really take care of us that way. Obviously, her work's amazing too.
Yeah.
But as a vendor, I just wanted vendors who were going to be experts in their field, experts in the location that we're going to, and just take care of everything. So I don't feel like I'm like watching them do their job the whole time to make sure they would do it the way I did it.
Yes.
I would do it, Yeah. So I cared a lot about that. And then I care less about the rest. I care less about the florals and everything else.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited. This is like such a fun phase. And I'm excited for you because I didn't get to do like wedding stuff. So I'm like, it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna live vicariously through your day.
The day I sent Cami and Grace the day and the place we're going to, she was like, here's all the Airbnbs. And I was like, I already have all these saved. And she was like, perfect.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be so fun. Just a week in a fun destination.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted people.
I said Italian, but
Italy.
That's where we're going. We're going to Italy. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, no, I'm like so excited. I have downloaded Duolingo and I've been.
Are you learning Italian?
Yeah.
Well, also, guys,
un cornetto per favore.
We couldn't decide if we wanted to do New Zealand or Italy.
Right.
Because New Zealand's actually backwards.
It's nicer weather.
Seasons wise. So there's spring when we're in the fall. Yeah. And so, but New Zealand is quite the trek. And it's like 20 hours to get there. And like way more expensive.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I had said Italy to begin with, and then we went back and we were like, maybe New Zealand. But you and my mom, I think, were both like, we're already learning Italian.
Yeah. No, I'm so pro Italy. I think it'll be so fun. It's gonna be
gorgeous
experience.
And it's like a dream destination. So it'll be fun.
No, I mean, like, super, especially the wedding we just did in Texas. I was like, Jayde doesn't feel like this, but like actually Italian. It's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be insane. I'm super excited about it. The Airbnbs that she saved and that I would send her as well, like we both saved yesterday, they're all like super Italian.
So
like there's a
vintage.
few places on Lake Como that were like kind of modern, which actually kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
Did you see those?
No.
Or it was like very modern.
Oh yeah, like especially inside.
Yeah.
But I want it to be
I was like
Victorian.
Well, and what we've talked about, I'm like, Jayde's vibe is very more like whimsical, vintage, all that stuff. And so looking at those Airbnbs, I'm like, this is so Italian.
The only way it could be more me is if we did it in the Tetons, but I don't want to stick around, so we're going.
Yeah. Well, and in November, Tetons. Ugh. You're rolling the dice on that one. That's like really hard. So this is gonna be so fun.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
A good time to.
I'll keep everyone updated on my sanity.
If you have like fun little intimate things that like are things that were done with an intention from your wedding or weddings that you've seen, send them our way because I
want to see.
Yeah, I want to see. I would love to see more like things that you don't see super traditionally that we can bring to Jayde's wedding.
Even
one of the ones
not photographical, like just like you did for your wedding, like that your photographer wasn't there for or something.
One of the ones that got me choked up was I did see that you save all like the bows from her bridal shower. Like you save all the bows from the gifts and then you make a bouquet out of the bows and that's what she uses for her rehearsal dinner
That's so
bouquet.
cute.
And I think that's so cute because it's little pieces of everyone that loves you.
Yes, I love it.
Gift. And I was like when I watched it, I had like tears.
Because you're thinking of me.
Yeah, I'm like, we're gonna do this at Jay. And so for her bridal shower and stuff, I'm gonna make sure to tell everybody, like, please make sure your gift has like a bow on it. So that we can make
get together with my mom because my mom's doing the engagement party.
Right. Yep. Oh, engagement party is not bridal shower?
I don't want a bridal shower.
Oh, okay.
It's an engagement party.
I was like, different?
I just don't want people to bring me a bunch of lingerie and sex toys. So I was like, that's
for your batch though.
Well, once upon a time I had a bridal shower.
And they did that?
I got lingerie and sex toys at it.
Oh.
At the first one I did. So I was like, we're calling this one an engagement party.
Yeah.
And that way people are bringing me stuff that like me and Jacob could both enjoy if they want to bring me stuff.
It's still lingerie and sex toys. What makes you think you both want to enjoy that?
You're right.
Yeah, I'm like, you're still going to get those.
Really good point. That's
now it's going to be embarrassing for both of you instead of just you.
Well, Jacob's not coming to the engagement party.
Okay.
Unless we should. I don't know. We'll figure
I don't know.
The details. I'm not a traditional girl.
Okay. I love it.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the story of my proposal. I know you've all been waiting.
Yeah, well, we actually had like a ton of things to talk about, but we talked about that. I think we'll save them for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll recap other things later.
Yeah.
But the really important part was that we won the C League softball team.
Yep, C League champs.
Tuesday C
League. We kicked butt.
All volleyball players.
We run ruled in the championship game. And so I'm sure people are really pissed, like we should probably be in B League, but we like to win.
Most of the girls didn't know what they were doing, and we figured it out by the end of the season. And that's why we were so good.
Yep. And they were like, "Have you guys had hitting practice?" And I was like, "Actually, one time we did.
We did at the beginning of the season."
Yep.
Anyways,
okay. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Slow Shutter Podcast with Cami Empey and Jayde Jenkins. Hey, you found it. It's the podcast for photographers and wedding professionals looking to take a little break from the creative process. So put your pen and notebook away and come hang out with your two besties, Cami Empey and Jayde Jenkins. This is Slow Shutter.